Good morning, Algebra 1. Guess what? It's Friday, and the sun is shining. This is a good day. All right, today it's Friday. What a wonderful thing. Of course, you're kind of at home every day. Friday may not seem much different. However, it's still a milestone we can look forward to. It's the 24th of April, and in Algebra 1, we should be wrapping up Chapter 8. We give you a couple days to catch up on this. And what I'd like to do today, I'd like to show you from 8.6, Chapter 8, 8.6, I would like to show you number 20. The directions in number 20, it says, graph it. So, some of you are still having a lot of difficulty in actually graphing something. So, I'm going to kind of run through this. This one here highlights a lot of problems we're having with scales and how to label and just kind of conceptualizing what it is that we're trying to do. So let's have a look at number 20 on page 455. Here we go. Okay, so Algebra 1, Chapter 8, Section 8.6, number 20. Again, it's on page 455. That's what we started with. We started with y is equal to negative 2x squared minus 4x plus 30. Now take a second. Have a look at that. What's it going to do? Well, it's going to open down. And that positive 30, wow, if you put a 0 in for x, that y-axis intercept is way up there on the y-axis. It's all the way up there at positive 30. So we can kind of get an idea of what this thing is going to look like. Vertex is way up there. It's got a 2 in front. It's going to be kind of skinny. And it's going to open down. Okay? So just kind of take a second, visualize what you're after. All right? So let us identify the A, B, and the C. And again, it's in standard form. Y is equal to some kind of x squared plus or minus some kind of x plus or minus some kind of number. So there you go. The A is negative 2 because that's the number in front of the squared term. Only the coefficient. Some of you are putting down like A is negative 2x and B is negative 4x. Don't do that. Stop it. It's just the coefficient. A is negative 2, B is negative 4, and C is 30. All right? Now, this axis of symmetry, it is very helpful to identify the axis of symmetry. A couple reasons for that. One, it allows you to generate more points once you have a point because parabolas are symmetric. You can move to the left or to the right of that axis of symmetry to get another one. And you need the axis of symmetry for the vertex because the vertex is on the axis of symmetry. Every time, never fails. So there's your equation. X is equal to negative b over 2a. Now in our case, b being negative 4 and c being negative 2, when you plug those values into your equation, x is equal to negative b over 2a. I've said that enough. I hope you got it. So we find that our axis of symmetry is negative 1. All right? So on your graph, you will take and draw a vertical line through negative 1, okay? Now, scaling. I know scaling is going to be a problem, but we'll get to that. So here it is. To find the vertex, you know that the x is negative 1. Jam it in there. I need y, okay? So y is equal to negative 2 times negative 1 squared minus 4 times negative 1 plus 30. And if you do all that, you find that y is 32. So you're right. Vertex is way up there. So take that y value and put it right there. There's your vertex, negative 1, 32, all right? So this is what I have graphed so far, okay? I drew my little, well, you may not have the parabola part, but anyway, I drew my xy axis. I put a dot way up there at negative 1, 32, that's where my vertex is. I crossed the y-axis at 30 because if you put a 0 in for x, that's all you got left. And I used the rules of symmetry to find this point, okay? Now, I put the points up here, and I'm going to put the axis symmetry just to show you how that works. Notice that I am 1 unit to the right, my y-axis intercept. If I go 1 unit to the left, I can get another point. I've got 3 points right off the bat. Boom, okay? That's the power of the axis of symmetry, all right? Now, I need some x-axis intercepts. To find the x-axis intercepts, hey, here's my little note on that. Use symmetry to get negative 2, 30. 1 unit left of axis of symmetry puts you on the y-axis on the y-axis. 1 unit to the right, that'll be another point. Now to factor this, remember to factor it to find the x-axis intercepts, every y value on x-axis is a 0. So put a 0 in there, all right? Now, I got 0 is equal to negative 2x squared minus 4x plus 30. Is there a greatest common factor? Yes. Remember, always check for a greatest common factor. So I'm going to divide everything by negative 2. Why negative 2? Because that little negative sign right there in front of that squared term really bugs me, all right? So if I divide it by negative 2, I get 0 is now equal to x squared plus 2x minus 15. Now, can I factor that? Can I find, being the lead coefficient in front of the squared term is a 1, can I find factors of negative 15 that multiply to negative 15 that add to a 2? Two factors. Their product is negative 15 and their sum is positive 2. You betcha we can. How about a positive 5 and a negative 3? Positive 5 times negative 3 is negative 15, and positive 5 minus 3 is 2. Ta-da! There it is. Okay? Now, set each one of those little factors to 0, like x plus 5 is equal to 0 and x minus 3 is equal to 0, and solve it, subtracting 5 from both sides in the first one, adding 3 to both sides in the second one, and there are your x-axis intercepts. All right, there they are. So let's come over here. Let's put them on our x-axis, and let's draw a nice, smooth parabola. My parabola kind of stinks, but anyway, here's the note. You know you're right on your x-axis intercepts. Notice that the x-axis intercept to the right of the axis of symmetry is 4 units. The x-axis intercept to the left of the axis of symmetry, 4 units. Hence, symmetry. Same distance, okay? Every point on the left side of that has the same y value will correspond to a point on the right side of that axis of symmetry, all right? Okay. Now let's hope that helped out a little bit on graphing that. They can be a challenge. I will admit, and scaling can be an issue, okay? Label your stuff and you'll be fine. Just label it, Let me know what you're doing. Okay. So it's Friday. Let's get caught up. Next week, I really want to roll into Chapter 9. I think might be a worksheet out there or something like that on graphing and solving. Please get those turned in. And next week, we're going to practice some square roots, and we're going to practice solving these things by graphing, and hence the significance of graphing. All right, get some stuff turned in. Have a great weekend. It's Friday. May's out.